Hola mis amigos, this is Spanish Blueprints and my name is Joshua, and today I can finally say that I am a fluent Spanish speaker. Now this journey has been very long and filled with a lot of trial and error, and it wasn't just like I woke up one day and I was speaking Spanish fluently. I wish it was that easy. So that's why in this video I want to share with you how exactly I became a fluent Spanish speaker. One thing that I had to do was get serious about learning the Spanish language, because how am I going to become a fluent Spanish speaker if I'm not actually learning the language? So I said I wanted to become a fluent Spanish speaker back in 2019 after I graduated, but I really wasn't taking the steps to learn the language. So I went to Mexico in 2019 right after I graduated college, but then when I returned, I wasn't really studying at all. It took almost a full year after my trip from Mexico where I started to get serious. What I was doing after my trip from Mexico was just listening to a few podcasts mainly. But then I got deployed, and during my deployment, I had a lot of opportunity to actually start to speak a lot of Spanish with Spanish speakers. But that is not what I did at all. I mostly just listened to my podcast and that was it. Sometimes saying hola, ¿cómo estás to one of my coworkers, but it wasn't really an actual conversation in Spanish. I also deployed with a Spanish speaker from Puerto Rico, and I had the opportunity to have conversations with him, but I decided that I was not ready for that at all. So that was basically 4 more months that passed where I was not speaking Spanish at all. But then when I returned from a deployment, I started to get a lot more serious about the Spanish language, and I started to consume a ton of content in Spanish. That's when I started to read in Spanish. I started to watch Netflix shows and movies in Spanish. I started to have more interactions with Spanish speakers, mostly through chat and voice recordings with the application Hello Talk. And then I also started to write in Spanish as well. All these things really helped to increase my speaking skills, because finally I was putting in a lot of time and dedication to learning this language. I was not being as lazy as I was beforehand, and finally Spanish was starting to become a part of my life. Thankfully, I developed the habit of consistency, and I was really increasing my discipline for learning the Spanish language. And now I can't even imagine one day going by where I'm not learning a new word in Spanish, or I'm not speaking with a native Spanish speaker, or I'm not just surrounded by Spanish culture. Another thing that really contributed to me becoming a fluent Spanish speaker was doing a lot of self-reflection. And by self-reflection, I mostly mean just asking myself questions and trying to figure out how to answer them. So some of these questions are: why am I not fluent? How do I become fluent? Why is this so hard? And when will all this happen? How long will this take to become fluent? So once I started to ask myself these questions, I was able to figure out some certain things that were really holding me back from becoming a fluent Spanish speaker. And one big thing in 2020 was my grammar and my sentence structure. I couldn't speak Spanish, and I didn't know how to speak Spanish because my grammar was just so poor. So I did take classes, Spanish classes, when I was in middle school, high school, and then also college. The issue was that I had such a big gap in my language studies, in my Spanish studies. My last Spanish class in high school was when I was about 16, when I was a sophomore. And then I quit taking these classes because I thought they were too hard. And then I started taking Spanish classes again until I was 22 years old. So I had this very large gap where I wasn't really focused on Spanish at all. And with my Spanish college course, I did know the simple Spanish sentence structure, but that was basically it. I didn't realize how much that I forgot from my previous classes in high school and middle school until I started to have conversations with Spanish speakers using Hello Talk. So Hello Talk is an application where you can talk with basically anybody around the world. You can have conversations through chat and voice messages. When I started to text these Spanish speakers, they would correct all the sentences that I got wrong. So what I did with that was just write all the incorrect sentences in a notebook, and then I would write what the correct version of the sentence was, and then I would study that long list of items or sentences over and over again, and I would make sure that I would not repeat those same mistakes. So having this interaction with Spanish speakers really helped me to get very clear on how to say and how to write sentences correctly in Spanish, because as you can see, I had no idea. And having all these interactions with Spanish speakers on Hello Talk was very beneficial for me as well, because this was the first time on my Spanish learning journey where I was in contact with native Spanish speakers so frequently. I was having conversations with them basically every single day. So that really helped to add more to my list of incorrect sentences that I could correct, and really learning from a Spanish speaker and not just from a Spanish textbook. Increasing my knowledge of sentence structure and Spanish grammar as a whole really put me on the path to speaking Spanish fluently, because now I was not taking so much time to think about what I wanted to say, because I had to figure out, oh, where does this word go? Where does that word go? I don't think that is correct. So I was going through this in my head because I was just so confused on how to make sentences correctly. But then I started to feel a lot more comfortable and I started to speak a lot smoother because I had all these correct sentences. After a lot of reflection, I started to realize that there was a lot of vocabulary that I lacked in the Spanish language. I could not have long conversations about certain topics. So that's where reading in Spanish, watching movies and TV shows in Spanish, listening to music in Spanish all helped to increase my vocabulary. This is the first book in Spanish that I completely read all the way through, and it is called El Épico Fracaso de Arturo Zamora. So I took a lot of notes from that book, and again, it helped a lot with increasing my knowledge of sentence structure, but also vocabulary. And the same thing with movies and TV shows, I started to take a whole bunch of notes. I wrote down a ton of new words and phrases that I was hearing. For example, ¿Cómo sería tu cumpleaños ideal? Salir adelante. Confía en mí. Puedo sentarme a tu lado. Piénsalo bien. Sentirse feliz. Estar relajado. And then with my notebook, I started to get more detailed by separating the words and phrases by different topics. So I have restaurant here, and then I have phrases like ¿Qué me recomienda? ¿Qué lleva este plato? Huele bien. ¿Qué está incluido? And then I also have phrases from the past. I have emotions and feelings as well. So desolado, enojado, molesto, avergonzado, nervioso, serio. And then I have more vocabulary that is related to the kitchen and cooking, and then also time-related vocabulary as well, and then also vocabulary that is related to weather. So this really helped to increase my vocabulary overall. I started to understand Spanish speakers more, then I was also able to have more conversations in general that lasted a lot longer. But again, these conversations were not in person, they were still through the application Hello Talk. Getting out of my comfort zone also really helped to increase my Spanish speaking fluency, because if I did not do that, then I would not have been having conversations in person with native Spanish speakers. And I am a natural introvert, so really going out and trying to find native Spanish speakers to talk to was very strange for me. It was very different and very uncomfortable. So that is something that was a huge barrier for me, I would say, to increase my Spanish speaking fluency as well, because this interaction in person with native Spanish speakers, having conversations with them, is something that really skyrocketed my Spanish speaking fluency. In 2021, I started to go places where I thought Spanish speakers were. One place was a Spanish church. Then I also started to go to a lot of Mexican restaurants that were within my city. As well, I started to go to Mexican markets and have as many Spanish conversations as possible. But this was still very challenging because this type of conversation, I'd say, is fairly different. It's not the same as if you're having a phone call with a Spanish speaking friend, or if you're sending voice recordings to a Spanish speaker through an application like Hello Talk. With those things, I feel like I had more time to think of an actual response, versus if I go to a restaurant or something like that, someone asks me, oh, hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Y qué quieres? Or algo así. Like someone asks me, what do I want? And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what I know yet. Like, un minuto por favor. These types of interactions were very intense for me. And I also had to learn how to communicate in general in Spanish, how to express myself when I am with other people. And that was no easy task because for the previous year back in 2020, I was mostly just reading and consuming content. And I realized after reflecting again that that doesn't translate to speaking. Just because I read a lot of things in Spanish, just because I watch Netflix, movies and TV shows, or listen to music in Spanish, that doesn't mean that I'm a fluent Spanish speaker just like that. I actually have to practice a ton when I'm speaking Spanish over and over again. In addition to that, I was dealing with a lot of emotions, a lot of insecurities. What if this person makes fun of me? What if I mess up, which I was doing all the time? I don't like to mess up. Since I don't like to mess up, I don't want to have this conversation, or I don't want to go up to this Spanish speaker and talk to them because I don't feel like I'm fluent yet. So I had to deal with all that as well while I'm trying to communicate with Spanish speakers. And that was the other part of this challenge of trying to speak Spanish fluently. It's not just like, oh, I have conversations and boom, all right, I'm a perfect Spanish speaker, but I have to deal with all these other thoughts that are going through my head that prevent me from speaking. I really had to practice over and over again to get really comfortable with doing it. And then I realized as well that when I am in different environments, the conversation style changes, the way I have to communicate changes, the vocabulary that I'm using is different as well. So for example, when I was having conversations with my friends, that was very different. It felt more comfortable. I wasn't worried about really saying anything incorrectly. They would understand me. When I was in the Spanish church, that was a different setting. I was speaking with different people I didn't know. I didn't really know how to communicate myself in that type of space. And the same thing if I go to, a Mexican restaurant, I'm using different vocabulary. The way that I'm communicating myself is different because I'm asking someone for something. Or like when I volunteered. So I also volunteered for the Latino community in the city that I used to live in. And with that, I was more of giving directions in Spanish. So agarrar esto, o no tenemos esta fruta o lo que sea. Vocabulary like that. We don't have this. We do have this. You can take 5 apples. You can take 6 apples. So this type of conversation was very different for me as well. So having all these different environments where I was having conversations in Spanish really helped to increase my Spanish speaking fluency because I was becoming well-rounded. I wasn't just talking about one topic. I was talking about multiple topics. So all these different experiences really opened my eyes to what really Spanish speaking fluency was. One thing I really knew that wasn't helpful for my Spanish fluency was translating into English because there are a lot of differences in between the English language, which is my native tongue, and the Spanish language. So every time when I was having conversations right in Spanish, I was trying to translate what they said back into English so I could think of an equivalent phrase or word in English and then translate that back to Spanish. Now, as you can see, this took a lot of time. And not only did it take a lot of time, it did not work. There are too many differences in between these languages. And just because we say one thing in English, for example, that does not mean that it's going to transfer over to Spanish. So learning what are words and phrases that Spanish speakers say really helped me to increase my fluency because now I was only using Spanish words and phrases that were coming from native Spanish speakers and not just thinking about the English version of every single thing. One example is te bañaste, and I got introduced to this word by a lot of Dominicans when I was in the Dominican Republic last year. So this for me was very confusing because when I was translating it back to English, I was like, I washed myself or I took a shower. So for me, that didn't make any sense. But then I had to think about what it was in Spanish and not just go back to English. And basically they're asking me, did I swim? So these little bits of knowledge that I was receiving helped me to realize how bad translating into English really is to increase my Spanish fluency skills. Other examples are te gusto or me gusto or te quiero, me caes bien, me gustes, hace mucho calor, quiero hacerte una pregunta. So for hace mucho calor, that really means to make a lot of like hot or like heat. So that does not translate well into English. And then yo quiero hacerte una pregunta is, if you translate that to English, is I want to make you a question. So it's just like, wait, what? Thinking in Spanish also was extremely helpful in increasing my Spanish speaking fluency because I got a lot more practice with the Spanish language. I wasn't just studying for 20 minutes and then not thinking about Spanish at all for 8 hours or 10 hours at a time and then trying to go back to my Spanish studies. But I was always having Spanish on my mind. I was always thinking of what words to say and what phrases I could say for conversations I was about to have. I was always preparing for conversations in my head before I actually had them. For example, let's say I was going to the Mexican market. Then I was thinking about what are some different situations or some different phrases or different vocabulary words that the people who are working there are going to ask me. Maybe they're going to ask me, what are you looking for? Or how was your day? Or where are you from? So I was always practicing in my head just like that. Okay, yo soy de Minnesota. Yo nací en Minnesota. Yo quiero comprar pantalones. And I was always doing that before I got to my destination. The same thing before having a conversation with a Spanish speaker, let's say in a store, or again, I got the Spanish church, or when I was doing volunteering. I was always preparing myself. And this also basically allowed me to have like little review sessions too, because I'm thinking about all the vocabulary that I was just studying. This allowed me to speak a lot faster because I already had a lot of different combinations of sentences that I was prepared to say. And at first, it was extremely difficult to do because it took a lot of energy out of me. But the more that I consistently thought in Spanish throughout the day, it got a lot easier. And also in the beginning, I only did it for maybe like half of the day. And then when I got to work, I just didn't do it because I didn't know how to express myself when I was at work in Spanish like that. And I didn't really know how to think about certain things like computer vocabulary or, things like that. And this really helped me to stay in Spanish mode all day long because I also realized that, well, Spanish speakers, they don't just stop thinking in Spanish. So I need to be doing what they are doing as well. So constantly speaking in Spanish and then also constantly thinking in Spanish as well. Now that, my friends, is exactly how I became a fluent Spanish speaker. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you share it with your friends. Also, if you like the content that I make and you would like to support my channel, you can donate at my Buy Me a Coffee page, and the link is in the description box of this video. Nos vemos en el próximo video.